start us another knife project. I've got us a billet all TIG welded up, ready to go. It's 15 layers of 15 and 20 and 80 CRV2 alternating. We're going to get the forge fired up and get this started. I got our billet all cleaned up. The welds all look good. I think before I go any further, I'm going to twist it and before I cut it and reforge it. So I think I'm going to do a twisted pattern. So we're going to get started on that. All right, it took a few heats to get that all twisted up, but I'm real happy with the way it turned out. So we'll get to trying to make this somewhat square again, and then we'll start the cleaning process up, and I'll stack it and reforge weld it. All right, we're back out in the barn. Got the twisted all cleaned up. Put a little light test etch on it. If you can see the pattern in it, it's turned out real nice. We're going to split this into probably about 3 pieces, and we're going to forge weld it together again, and then we'll get started on making a knife. All right, we got our billet all welded, TIG welded up, and got our pattern the way we want it. We're going to fire the forge up and set the welds and get started. right, I'm pretty happy with the way rough shape is. Go let this cool down slowly in the forge, and then we'll get to putting our final shape on it with the belt grinder. Got it all cleaned up, got the profile the way I like it. Did a test etch on it. Pattern turned out pretty fantastic. Hopefully y'all can see this. Going to get onto the bevels, get to making the handle, and get on with everything else. All right, we have the bevels cut in. I've got a scrap piece of Damascus that I'm going to make a guard out of. We're going to get on to heat treating this and get it ready to finish. We got it heat treated. Everything looked like it turned out pretty well. After I dunked it in oil, I put it in a vise in between a couple pieces of angle iron to keep it good and straight while it cooled. Gonna clean it up a little bit, and then we're gonna bake it in the oven for probably 2.5 hours, and until it gets nice straw colors on it, and get it tempered back. Our knife's all tempered here. I made a guard for it. I have a piece of Damascus. The camera didn't record this part of it for some reason. I lost that footage. I'll try to find it and put it in the video, but I think it's gone. But like I said, made guard out of Damascus, and then I've got some resined pine cone I'm going to use for the handle scales. I also got it sanded out to 320 grit, and like I said, that was all in that footage that was lost. So we're going to get on to hogging some material off these handle scales and get on with it. All right, we got the handle and everything shaped. Everything's fitted up real nice. Handle turned out wild. But we're gonna get it in the acid and get it all etched. And we'll get it all glued up and finished up. All right, we have everything etched. And cleaned up. We got the guard, all that stuff's ready to go. The handles are all ready to go. We're gonna mix some epoxy up, get it all glued together, get it cleaned up, and then we'll get on to putting an edge on it. All right, we got the handle all glued up. We got it all sanded, finished sanded. Handle's polished. I think it turned out amazing. Hopefully y'all can see the pattern and all that. The resin pine cone handles and all that turned out really nice. Like the guard, the mosaic pin. So we're going to put an edge on it now. We're going to make sheath for it and get it finished. We got our Lansky sharpener set up and we're going to start putting an edge on it. A little honing oil on the stones. We're going to use a 20-degree angle. On this sharpener, the stones go from coarse to super fine. You just keep working your way progressively down through the stones, counting how many passes you make on each side to keep the edge even and, centered. And it makes life pretty simple. See, we've made it to medium stone now, and we'll keep working down to extra fine. We got our edge all sharp on our knife. Pretty happy with the way it came out. I ended up putting a 24-degree edge on it. That's a good like hunting and camp knife. It's not like razor sharp, but it'll cut. So we're going to get on to making the sheath and get this finished up. It'll be the last step. All right, we got our vegetan leather and we got our knife, and this first piece I ended up making it twice. Because I wanted to have a good fit on the guard. And then I need enough distance between the blade and the edge of the leather to sew. So what I did was I laid that out on the leather, and then I took my calipers and I set them right at roughly around 1/2 of an inch, and then I traced the knife, making a line where I could cut the leather. Like I said, the first one I screwed up. The second one turned out really nice. Now that I got this piece made, I will take this piece and make 3 more of these. One will be longer so I can get a belt loop and sew it back in. The other one will just be a filler piece that goes around this edge, where I can sew all 3 of those together and still have space for the knife to go in. You got to determine how you want to carry your knife. I've got this one set up for right hand draw. You can do left hand draw, any way you like it. Personally myself, right hand draw, I'm right-handed. So we're going to get on to cutting the other 3 pieces. Then I may texture this leather a little bit, just so it's just not a smooth piece of leather, and I'm going to probably end up dyeing it brown. So let's get on with all that. Alright, so there's our 3 pieces. Get the one, we end up looping it around for the belt, and then you'll have the filler piece like that, and then the top piece, and then the knife will go in like that. So you know, I might have left this just a tad long, but you know, at least we got our pattern started and the majority of our stuff going for now. So we'll keep going. All right, we have all of our pieces cut and everything fits pretty good. I'm going to texture this piece that shows on the outside, and I'm going to do that with this little tool here. And you got to wet the leather first. Get it good and wet. And then just start texturing and hitting it with a hammer. No real pattern, just kind of go through and texture it all up. That way it just kind of looks a little better than just a plain leather. So we're going to get that done. This will take a little while. Alright, I got the front piece textured up. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. And then the back piece, the flap that comes over, I went ahead and textured it too, and put the Scott's Barn logo in it, and we'll get to putting it together now. I went ahead and dyed the inside of the belt loop because it's pretty hard to get to once it's all put back together and sewed. The finished edge of the leather, the filler piece, I took a piece of 80 grit sandpaper and roughed it up. I used contact cement to hold all this together until I can sew it. So we're going to get started on putting the contact cement on. And while that sets up a glue, I use these like paper clips to hold it all together. All right, now that we got that done, we'll let everything set up and dry, and then we'll come back with the pricking irons and make the holes for sewing it all together. All right, we got all 3 pieces all epoxied up and put together. We're going to use this tool here. It cuts a little groove in here where the thread will go where you sew it together. That way it'll bury the thread down in there and make it look real nice. So we'll get started with that. So we got that little groove in there now, and then we'll follow that groove with the pricking irons to make the holes for the stitches. We use these right here. They're like a chisel and they go through all 3 pieces. And we'll continue that all the way around till we get all of our stitching laid out. Now we got all of our holes punched where our stitches are going to be, all laid out. And it goes all the way through. So now we'll dye the leather brown. That way the dye gets down in that groove and you won't see it when the stitches go in. And then after that, we'll do a saddle stitch on it and it'll pretty much be done. All right, we got our leather dyed. We started doing a saddle stitch on it. Don't use my video as a way to learn how to do saddle stitching because I have a dumb rabbit and I get confused and end up doing it 2 or 3 times to get it right. But basically, you go down through the hole and then back up through the hole. You need a really long piece of thread. It ends up getting knotted. It gets all messed up on you. And it's really hard for me to keep track of. Something I need to get better at, which just takes time and practice. So, but like I said, there's tons of good videos out there, great leather workers, and you can look up saddle stitch and they got way better videos than I ever could do on this. So, but it's time consuming, makes your hands hurt because you keep going back and forth through the same hole. You basically end up sewing it up twice. I always keep a little pair of pliers handy. That way it helps pull the needle through the hole. But like I said, there's way better people than me at this. It's something that I'm still learning. And like I said, you can look up videos and have a way better idea than I can give you. But you just continue this all the way around until you completely loop everything. And then I always take a hammer, and once you get the stitches laid in there, just kind of tap on them, makes them lay in there flat in that groove, and makes them look a little nicer. So we'll continue to work our way all the way around this and get it done. All right, we got all the stitching done. Knife fits in there really good. Knife turned out fantastic. I'm really happy with the way this one went. The fit and finish on this is good. The sheath turned out super nice. See some of those textures and stuff in there. Got the logo in. Stitching turned out pretty good. Like I said, I'm not the greatest at that. Getting better, but like I said, everything fits in real well. Really, that's good. Really happy with the way it turned out. If you like these videos, please like and subscribe. It helps me. I'm still working on getting this channel off the ground and producing more videos for you guys. But like I said, please like and subscribe. Leave me some comments, what you think, how you like it, and we'll see you on the next project.